Yeah, I suppose as long as I felt that whatever work she was entering into, that she felt comfortable with it. Because obviously, if you were a parent, you would feel uncomfortable if somebody wasn't happy at their job, no matter what it was. You know, if you had a child who was working as a barmaid and was unhappy where she was working, that would be upsetting as well. I think there's a point at which, and I have to completely cop here to not being a parent, so I'm assuming what I would be like as a parent, which, as we all know, are famous last words. I would like to hope that I'd be as decent about it as my own mother was when I told her. And the thing that she said to me is she looked at me, and to put this in context, my mother was a teenager in the late 60s. She was fully on board. She's far more open-minded than I am about a lot of things. And she just looked at me and she said, well, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. Did you enjoy yourself? And I said, well, actually, yeah, I did have a pretty nice time of it. I think that would be the thing that mattered to me. If I felt that somebody was unhappy with it, you almost want to shake people, because there are so many bloggers now, and a lot of anonymous bloggers, and a lot of anonymous sex work bloggers. And you do see ones going on about how unhappy they are at work. And you do want to shake them and say, if you're this unhappy, why are you doing it? But of course, the bottom line is money. We all have to have money to get by. And increasingly, I mean, that's enormous pressure on students. When I was a student, because I was still enrolled at Sheffield when I was a sex worker, although I was living in London just because it was in that writing up period. Because I was raised overseas, I was paying £10,000 a year to be a student. And at the time, I think the fees for home students were about £1,000. So it was completely unsurprising to me when the news came through that there are more students in sex work. And of course, the kind of rolling on from that is the prices that people can command for the work have gone down accordingly, because there is a lot more supply than there used to be. So when I was working as just a bog standard agency girl in London, and I was taking home I was taking home 200 an hour, charging 300 an hour. We didn't realize it, but at the time that was a bit of a high point. Someone in the same position now, working for the same kind of agency, doing the same kind of work, would not be taking home that kind of money. And we do have to be asking ourselves, you know, this is actually a question separate from sex work in general, but just in terms of educational policy, whom does it actually benefit for fees to be like this? Because they're not covering the true cost of the education anyway. So what is the point of burdening people with these kinds of worries about income and about their future debt? You know, you're not paying the real cost of your education here.